Boom, da-ba-doom, boom, da-ba-doom.
Hey guys, Chris Peach here, and welcome to Money Peach TV. Hey, do you remember growing up learning how to handle money? Yeah, neither do I. So that's why we're here today to make money fun again. We're going to talk about the principles in life that matter when it comes to managing your money the right way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Money Peach TV. Before we jump into this incredible episode of Money Peach TV, I want to take a second to talk to you guys about my #1 online program for showing you how to go from with money to being awesome with money, and that's Awesome Money Course. So head on over to awesomemoneycourse.com so you can see why people all over the world are taking advantage of this #1 online program for showing you how to be awesome with your money. Alrighty guys, welcome back to Money Peach TV. Today we are going to talk about budgeting. This is episode #2, and we're starting off episode 2 with the budget because I believe that the #1 thing that you need to do with your money before you can do anything else is you need to start measuring it so you can manage it. If you don't do a budget, then nothing else really matters, because a budget is what keeps you in check with your money. It's what allows you to have money to allocate things, or to allocate towards things. It allows you to live your life, right? I talked about in the last episode how when you don't live on a budget and you just kind of spin out of control, eventually you will run out of money. That's kind of a non-official law, if you will. So budgeting is going to be uber important for you guys to get going in the right direction. So no one really knows how to do a budget. It's a sad thing out there. When was the last time you ever taught how to do a budget? I mean, we go through high school and college and we learn plant biology and all this other really important stuff, but we don't learn common sense budgeting. So like I've said over and over again, it's 5th grade math. There's nothing more than addition and subtraction. So let's take a look at what it is to do a budget. So the first thing to do a budget is you need to, well, let's put it this way. For those of you out there that don't like calling it a budget, I got the perfect solution for you. Let's call it a cash flow plan. Right? Because budgeting sometimes can be scary. I get a lot of people say like, oh, I don't want to do a budget because my life's going to be over. I mean, as soon as I start doing a budget, I'm not going to have fun again for the rest of my life. And all this nonsense out there. The word budget out there has got a real bad vibe to it. I'm here to tell you all a budget does is simply tells you what to do with your money. You know how much money comes in each month. You get to earn the money. So instead of it just doing what it wants, it puts you in the driver's seat of your money. You get to decide, how is this money going to be spent? So with that said, let's start taking a look at how to start your budget. So the first thing that you must do, and it sounds crazy, but the first thing you must do is you need to determine your income. Now, for some of you, you might be thinking, yeah, that is super simple. But for others out there, you don't really know what your income is. It might change month to month. You don't know exactly how much is take home, how much is gross. You don't know exactly, what comes in one month versus the other month, and it's complicated. So I want you to sit down and I want you to look at, what is your income? Do you get paid bi-weekly? Do you get paid on the 1st and 15th? Do you get paid every Tuesday? Do you get paid once a month? Or do you just get paid when you make a sale? Either way, I want to know what your monthly income is. And the reason why I'm concerned with your monthly income, I'm not really concerned with what you make each week. I want to know what you make in that 30-day period. And here's the reason why. Our lives are already set up on a month-to-month schedule. Let me ask you this. When's your rent or mortgage due? What about your utilities? What about your cable bill? What about your phone bill? What about your car payment? What about your insurance payment? Everything's set up on a month-to-month basis. So let's just follow the plan. Let's make it simple. I see a lot of times people are they're budgeting their first week's check for this and their second week's check for this. That's complicated. Let's simplify this. So I want you to determine, what is your monthly income? Now, step 2, you got the monthly income. Step 2 is I want you to go through. So inside the show notes for this episode, I'm going to have a checklist provided that's going to have you go through, and it's going to remind you to look up, groceries, what that is, what fuel costs are, what your HOA fees are, what your insurance costs are, and every little thing in your life. Because I promise you, you have so much going on in your life, you're not going to be able to figure it all out or remember it. I'm going to remind you of it. So there's going to be a free worksheet I want you guys to grab there. It's going to be called the Getting Started Guide. It's going to help you get started with setting up your budget. So now we have our monthly income, and we also know exactly what we're spending over the last 90 days. I want you to go back over 90 days, and I want you to take a look at what have we been doing with our money. Now, let me stop here and tell you, this is going to feel like a gut punch, because most likely you've refused to look at it. If you were like me, you thought, I just won't look at it and life will be fine. But when you sit down and you put these numbers together, you're going to say, we're spending this much money No wonder we're feeling paycheck to paycheck. No wonder we're feeling broke. That's the point. I want it to be kind of a gut punch because, like I said last time, pain is a great motivator. So I want you guys to realize that, okay, here's where our money is going. Now we've identified the problem, let's fix it. So from there, I want you to start allocating. I have 2 budgets that I want you guys to choose from. If you go to the show notes, I'm gonna have links to those budgets, but one of them is gonna be a spreadsheet budget that you could put on your phone and it'll turn into like an app. But also there's another budget out there that's a pencil and paper budget. For those of you that are old school and you wanna print something off and you like to write it out on pencil and paper, I have that. Both are extremely effective. They work exact same. So you pick up the budget you want to use. So now we're going to start going through. We're going to say, okay, our income goes at the top, and let's just start punching through. What is our HOA fees, or what's our mortgage? What's our rent? How much we spend on groceries? And we're going to go through on a month-to-month basis. So month 1, we're going to start going through and listing it down. Now, most likely, you are going to notice that you're either going to come pretty close or you're going to run out of money before you're basically going to have more expenses than you do income. That's normal, right? That's why we have this crisis living. That's why we're living paycheck to paycheck. So that's when you go back and you start saying, we're going to be adults here. We're going to look at this monthly budget and we're going to say, okay, we're bringing in $4,000, but we're spending $4,500. So what can we do about it? We need to cut back $500 out of this budget. So that's what budgeting is. It's simply having a plan for our money instead of wondering where our money went. So you go through and you start looking at needs versus wants. If you need some ideas for that, I want you to go into the show notes of this episode, moneypeach.com/session2, and I'll have some ideas in there for you guys to get started. So now that we have this in place, we have this budget, the budget is set up, then from there we just got to follow the budget. Now let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. Were you good at driving a car month 1? I know I wasn't. I hit trash cans all over the place. So month 2, I got a little bit better. In month 3, I felt like, okay, I got this. And that's what it takes with budgeting. I want you to give yourself 60 to 90 days to really knock out this budget, to hammer it down. When you stick with it, I promise you, you are going to find tremendous success in your life and your money. Okay, getting past that first 60 to 90 days, that is going to be tough because it's going to get hard. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to hit roadblocks. And that's when people give up. When it gets hard, people give up. But you're not going to give up because you are sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck. You're tired of not having money. What's the other option? So the best option is stick with it, plan for it, be prepared for some hiccups. It's called life, right? So once you get through this first 60, 90 days, you are going to be a rock star at budgeting. It's literally 5th grade math. It's no more than that. So 60 to 90 days, go back, look at your bank statements, kind of figure out what your money has been doing, put your income at the top, your expenses below, and then just follow the budget. So when should you be doing the budget? Well, here's the deal. We want to do the budget before the month starts. So if we're in the middle of a month right now, then you're just going to have to kind of estimate what you spent over the course of the last 2 weeks and then maybe whatever's left in the month. But starting on the 27th or 28th of every single month, I'm going to send you a budget. I'm going to send you a budget in your email as a reminder saying, here's the deal. It's a new month. We need to do a budget. And I will send you a reminder to do your budget right when I finish doing mine because we live our lives on a monthly budget, month in and month out. We have been doing this since 2011. And there's a reason why we're debt free. There's a reason why we have money. There's a reason why we're building wealth like crazy. Is because we're managing our money. So guys, in the next episode, we're going to talk about budgeting transforming into using cash. We're going to talk about the cash principle, and I'm going to share with you a story about how I saved $27,000 over a short period of time by switching over to cash. So until then, I want you guys to go down to the show notes, grab the budget, and get started. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Money Peach TV. But before you leave, I want you to leave with a free gift. Go to moneypeach.com and please download my free budgeting form. 12,000 people as of today all over the world are using this thing every single month. I want you to be one of them as well. The number one habit of highly successful people is being proactive. Be proactive by getting on a budget. Moneypeach.com. Download the budget there. And also don't forget to check out awesomemoneycourse.com, the number one online program for taking you from with your money to showing you how to truly manage your money the right way. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Boom, da-ba-doom, boom, da-ba-doom.